Vietnam and Taiwan capitulate, offered to remove all U.S. tariffs and boost investment. Let's remember that the tariffs that Trump put on most countries were half of what those countries were charging the U.S. for U.S. imports. So we have this coming on now. Last week we explained that this particular trade war will be all about the deals that Trump announces as he pulls the country and market from the trade war abyss. That was quick. Thailand to negotiate with the U.S. on 36% imposed tariffs. And next, everyone else. So everyone else, starting with Vietnam, which was slapped with some of the highest reciprocal tariffs, crushing countless U.S. consumer companies who rely on cheap Vietnamese exports. And sure enough, confirming that Trump's deal-making was about to shine on Friday, Trump posted on his Truth Social account, announced that he had a very productive call with the head of Vietnamese Communist Party, adding that if Vietnam wants to cut their tariffs to zero, all they have to do is make an agreement with the U.S. Fast forward just one day, and we have an example of the first official capitulation by trading counterparty, as Bloomberg reports that Vietnam has offered to remove all tariffs on U.S. imports after Donald Trump announced 46% levy on the Southeastern Asian nation, according to an April 5th letter from Vietnam's Communist Party. The offer was made by party chief To Lam, the U.S. president, in a letter that was seen by Bloomberg. And in the letter, Lam requested that the U.S. not apply any additional tariffs or fees on Vietnamese goods and asked to postpone the implementation of tariff announced by Trump last week by at least 45 days after April 9. And the letter confirms comments made by Trump on Friday following a call between the two leaders. Vietnam, which has increasingly become a key manufacturing and export alternative to China, was slapped with one of the highest tariff rates worldwide last Wednesday. Expect all the companies profiled as the biggest casualties of the Vietnam tariffs to soar as the market realizes that for all the posturing, Trump's tariffs were just that, a negotiating chip to minimize trade barriers against the U.S., which, as Vietnam so aptly demonstrates, are now well on their way out. And now we wait to see just how much the limping Vietnamese dong, which on Friday drooped to an all-time low, will firm up on the news. And in addition to the news about Vietnam bending the knee, Epoch Times' Jacob Berg reports that Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te on April 6 said his nation would offer zero tariffs and no retaliation as the start of negotiations with the United States while vowing to remove trade barriers. Lai said Taiwanese companies will also increase their investments in the U.S. The comments were made in response to sweeping import tariffs announced by President Trump on April 2nd. Taiwan has a trade surplus with America and will see a 32% tariff on its imports to the United States. The new tariffs do not, however, affect semiconductors, one of Taiwan's largest exports. While meeting with executives from small and medium-sized companies at his residence, Lai noted that because Taiwan depends on trade, its economy may face difficulties dealing with U.S. tariffs, but that their impacts could be minimized. Tariff negotiations could start with zero tariffs between Taiwan and the United States, with reference to the U.S.-Canada-Mexico Free Trade Agreement, he said. Trump has said nothing that is compliant with the U.S.-Canada-Mexico Agreement will not be subject to additional tariffs. Lai added that his cabinet is considering what extensive agricultural, industrial, and energy purchases to make from the United States, as his defense ministry has so far offered its weapons purchase plans. He said all purchases will be actively pursued. Additionally, non-tariff barriers are a signal for the United States to evaluate the fairness of trade, and Taiwan will proactively settle non-tariff barriers that have endured for multiple years to smoothen trade negotiations with America, Lai said. And finally, White House's National Economic Counselor Director Kevin Hassett says that over 50 countries have reached out to Trump looking to begin negotiations. And Hassett says that is because they understand they bear a lot of the tariff. And as War Clandestine pointed out, Trump's plan has ignited a fire under all the nations around the world who are ripping us off, the United States that is, and now they're all getting in line and willing to come to the negotiating table with a sense of urgency, and Trump has all the leverage. Trump might be onto something. This is on Zero Hedge by Tyler Durden. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.